America's burning and it will rise once again. The world is on the verge of collapse. Today we're going to be talking about the economy, finally. But first, before we do, it's impossible for XRP not to hit $100 at bare minimum. Logically, if you have any brain cells, you will know. If you're stuck on the market cap situation, whatnot, well, let me tell you this. Real world utility, the world has not seen utility driven market cap yet. Exactly. Beautifully put, guys, right? It's super simple. In my humble opinion, I believe XRP will be at its own realm of quote-unquote market cap. It will be beyond crypto in itself, right? Which is a little hard to explain, but that's what I see, or that's how I see the future being or look like, guys. Now, by 2025, we will see everything take place, guys. Now, when I say 2025, people get mad. Let me explain why I state that. It's because I believe people need to get priced out. So there's two options. Option one, they pump XRP's price to $10, $50, and $100, or even more by 2023, 24, and 25, right? People start selling. That's one way to price people out. Another way is possibly to keep it low as possible and then flip that switch at one moment in time in 2025. But that way, you'll probably just buy more, right? So I don't see how they could price people out just keeping it low unless people give up, right? So that's why I say we're probably just going to go up and never stop, guys, right? So 2023, 2024, and 2025. During the collapse, it might dump a lot or a good amount because a lot of people will be selling, right? A lot of fear, contagion issues, and all that stuff. When they bring in a new financial system, then we are good to go. XRP finally reigns supreme in the digital era, but not financial advice. Now, let's talk about the economy. As soon as XRP starts pumping, Bitcoin starts pumping, and these other crypto assets start pumping, Jim Cramer says charts suggest the market could rally for the next couple of months, right? If he's inverse, guys, we'll probably see a dump incoming. I believe we're going to pump though, a good amount, then maybe dump, right? Because I believe the DXY needs to pump, guys. It's been dumping heavily, right? It needs to have that retrace moment. Now this week is big. Why? Because key events this week. Banks begin reporting Q4 2020 earnings, which just passed, I'm pretty sure. Fed Chair Powell speaks on Tuesday, which just passed. Tomorrow, another Fed member speaks on what's happening with the economy, right? So this is very important, guys. We must pay attention to what they're going to state. Then, December CPI released on Thursday. That's going to be huge because if it's lower than expected, guys, the markets will rally, right? Consumer sentiment data on Friday as well. Markets are kicking off 2023 with a ton of excitement. The consensus estimate for CPI is 6.5%. What do you think CPI comes in at tomorrow, guys? If it's lower than this percentage, markets are going to pump, right? People are going to become more bullish once again because inflation, quote unquote, inflation is going down. No, it's not, guys. It's sky high, and today we're going to be talking about it, right? Whatever they report, they're literally manipulating data, right? So these people manipulate not only the charts we see, but literally data, guys, right? Which is very valuable because that's information for the people. From Kim.com, why would any country want to install the US operating system if this is the result? Imagine how bad it will get after the economic collapse this year. Guys, you don't understand. Even Kim.com is stating, imagine how bad it will get during the collapse, the economic, right? The financial collapse this year. So he's thinking it's going to be this year, guys. Let it be, right? If it is this year, so it be, right? So we don't have to suffer more and more and more. So people don't have to suffer more and more and more. I wish it happens today, but it's not going to. I don't believe so. I believe they're going to pump everything up and up and up, guys, right? So basically, I believe the collapse will be like The Purge, right? The movie, even though I haven't watched it, but it's going to be something similar, right? Everything is going to be out of control, guys, right? Prepare. That's why I said it's advice for you to stay home at that point in time, right? Oh, and do not participate. Why? Do not participate because they're just going to feed off of your energy, first of all, right? Number two, you already know the game plan, so there's nothing to be worried about, guys, right? It's quite simple. The timeline is clear. From Gold Telegraph, breaking news: World Bank cuts 2023 forecast and is warning of a global recession taking place. Global, not oh wow. We're not talking about America only, guys. Now they're starting to talk about molding our minds, shaping our minds into thinking globally, right? Because that's what's going to happen. And by the way, people are talking about we're already in a recession, could be, but we're not talking. It usually the opposite takes place, right? So they're thinking 2023 is when a global recession takes place. No, it's not. It's going to be a Great Depression. If not, we're going to pump, right? So it's either or, guys. Which will be? It doesn't matter because we win at the end, right? We win at the end. Either scenario, it's a win-win situation for us, guys. Scenario. Breaking news, the Bank of Japan has announced a 4th day of unscheduled bond buying operations. The money printer is not going burr, it is going berserk. Huh. Beautifully, guys, this is so crazy. I can't believe it. Beautiful. They have to buy. They literally have to buy. Why? Because the end game is in process. Exactly. We are at the end game, folks. Right? If they don't buy everything now, it's going to collapse today. So they need to just keep buying. Right? There is no stopping this, guys. Right? But one day the system will not be able to handle the buying, right? The inflation, the money printing, all that stuff any longer. So it will then break. When will that be? You guys know my opinion. While that's happening, right? While they just keep printing money, so much buying operations going on, inflation is skyrocketing. This might be a good time to raise some chickens. Guys, New York City grocery stores right now, 2023 is so far on fire, as you guys can see right here. Absolutely crazy, guys. I can't believe it, right? We told you. Oh my. How don't people... I don't understand why people don't listen to us, right? We stated that everything has to go up, guys. They will not. They want to price out. They want to have a 2-tiered system, right? They want to cut the middle class out. The poor and the rich, right? It's quite simple, guys. And how do they do it? With everything we have been seeing today. Not only that, the 2020 thing was manufactured. Same with the wars that we've seen, right? It's all an excuse. It's all a mechanism from Cardi B. PSA, guys. Even she's coming into the play. Listen to this.
Let me tell you something. When I be complaining about food prices and y'all motherfuckers be like, ain't you rich? Why you complaining about lettuce? Why you complaining about this? That just goes to show me when you become successful, when you have money, you're gonna go broke soon because y'all not budgeting. I get a summary of the money that's being spent in my home every week. So when I'm starting to see they're like groceries is like tripling up, it's like, hey, yo, what I want to see for myself what shit is being spent on. And like when I go to the supermarket, like I went to the supermarket, I'm seeing that everything tripled up. That like lettuce was like $2 a couple of months ago, and now it's like $7. Of course, I'm gonna say something, because if I think that shit is crazy, I can only imagine what middle class people or people in the hood is thinking. So yes, I'm going to say something, and I have a big platform, so I do want anybody that's responsible for prices to put that shit down. They're gonna see my shit, they might put it down. So shut the f*** up.
They're not going to put it down, folks. They could make inflation super low, right? We could be in deflation as we speak, but they won't do that. They could collapse it today, guys. As we stated, they want we the people to suffer. Why? Because we'll be more open to what? Universal basic income when the time is right. We'll be open to what? A new system, right? Please give us a new system because it's so bad. This is the game plan. It's always been like this. I can't believe it, guys. And you know it's getting real bad when she's stating this as well. It definitely is real bad, guys, at this point in time. They want to take us out, right? Can't believe it. $120,000 combined household income can barely afford groceries. Listen to this, guys. Today we're going to be talking about the economy. Like we stated, pay attention. Do not get left out, guys. The wealth transfer is taking place as we speak, and it's going to accelerate by 2025 maximum.
Y'all, tell me why. Just... why am I still living paycheck to paycheck? Why? My job pays, like, a decent amount of money. Like, very median, very average. But, like, I should be able to live on this. This is a good salary. Not anymore! Like, I've started to dread going to the grocery store to buy tinfoil. Because off-brand, weak-ass tinfoil is like $10. I saw an 18-pack of eggs for $13. I walked in to the Walmart like a few days ago. I bought standard necessities, Ziploc bags, tinfoil, eggs, some lentil pasta because I can't eat the real stuff and that has good protein in it, a singular pound of ground beef, milk, eggs, cheese. Tell me why I walked out of there having spent $70. 70! 70! My partner and I make $120,000 combined. $120,000. That's good. That should be okay. Like, we should be set. Took a lot of work and effort and resume building and all the good stuff to get here. Why are we both living paycheck to paycheck? This is not sustainable. How are people going to find a place to live? How are we supposed to continue to eat? Like, forget about me because we're still living. We're kind of making it. Like, it's not as horrible as it could be. But what about these young kids trying to start a life, trying to get out of their parents' house and be independent adults, and they can't. They can't. Paying for college has become a joke. Requirements for...
I can see it, guys. Problem, reaction to solution. How are people outraged about the inflation situation we see today? But don't worry, folks. You just need to survive for another 1 to 2 years maximum or so, right? Because when the collapse hits, we're going to go into deflation where everything will be super cheap. So if you're super wealthy now or rich from these digital assets, you could buy houses, right? Whatever you would wish to at that point in time. So it's a win-win situation, guys. But I just can't believe it. Like, how are people going after the Federal Reserve is my question, right? But they're distracted by everything else. They don't see that the Federal Reserve is taking out everyone at this point in time, right? Eggs are the new Bitcoin. Look, eggs are skyrocketing. McDonald's Japan to raise prices on 80% of its items. McDonald's is skyrocketing. Then the Fed comes out, states, Fed to stock market. Big rallies will only prolong painful inflation fight. Don't worry. Nope. They don't care about inflation, guys. If they did want to collapse or stop inflation, they will collapse the economy. And we know what would happen, right? The Fed officials agree rate cuts shouldn't happen in 2023, setting risk of inflation accelerating faster than anticipated, right? Like we talked about, like, what did we talk about, guys? It's only going to get more and more and more. Oil, inflation, assets, everything, stock market. When the 2020 thing happened, we lived in a clown world where the 2020 thing was going on, but the stock market, crypto assets were just skyrocketing, right? Confirmed rate cuts will happen in 2023. Again, the opposite usually takes place, right? When they do state something. Like we talked about, my opinion is they're going to raise a little bit more, then pause, then rate cuts begin. Then we go on a crazy bull run, guys, like never before. Then the collapse hits. This is how this is also how I see 2023 and 2024 playing out. 1. Recession, higher unemployment, CPI declines. 2. Fed declares victory on inflation, cut rates, QE restarts, Congress does more stimulus. 2024 inflation to new all-time highs. Gold and silver to new all-time highs as well. Beautiful, guys. I mean, the game plan is actually set, right? 2023 is going to be crazy. More people than ever are living paycheck to paycheck. More Americans turning to credit cards to cover basic expenses as inflation rages, right? Can't believe it. Well, we can because we talked about this. Just spoke with a very smart analyst who thinks the Fed will go to 7 to or even 8% background at Fed and several macro hedge funds. You guys think so? I don't think so, guys. Because if they keep raising these interest rates, they're just going to collapse. And if they do collapse it, it's better for us. So let them. Because look, they're stuck, guys. They're stuck, right? Their hands are tied behind their backs. UBS calling for Fed rate cuts by July as PCE plummets to 2.1%. If that actually occurred, I can't imagine how bad the market would look because the economy would have to literally stop for that to happen. They're calling for Fed rate cuts, like we talked about. Do you think Federal Reserve or the interest rates will stay at 5% plus for years like the Fed is saying? By the end of 2025, a huge portion of the debt will mature and refinance at higher rates. $38 trillion in debt at 5% plus. At 5% equals 1.9 trillion interest expense each per year. That is about 50% of tax revenue, guys, right? So that's what's, well, remember, that's to be wiped out. Don't forget about that. Justin, markets are going to get rocked as Fed is likely to push rates higher, right? I do believe so, guys. Just a little bit, but then they're going to pause it. Last but not least, single-minded Fed will cause you to lose your job in the fight to contain inflation. Let's check this out.
I've been speaking in a different way about the Fed in the last couple of months than I had been before, and that's because, for whatever reason, they have come around to views quite close to mine. They think inflation is the primary concern. They explicitly recognize that there's going to need to be increases in unemployment to contain inflation. They recognize the salience of labor market developments as a kind of super core measure of inflation. They're showing awareness of the fact that the neutral interest rate is a real interest rate concept rather than a nominal interest rate concept. They're recognizing that the trade-off is not between unemployment and inflation, but between unemployment and the level of entrenched inflation. These are the kinds of points that I've been stressing on your show for the past 18 months. And I think I'm gratified to see that they now are increasingly representing orthodoxy. I think it's interesting that the Fed is indicating a commitment to tighter policies, more focus on resisting inflation than the market is expecting they will carry through on. I think I would be closer to the Fed at this point in terms of judging what will happen than I would be to the market.
Now, what do you believe will take place with the economy, guys? Let me know down below. We all know that the collapse is imminent, right? Because of the evidence we just seen today, right? How much longer can it last? Not so long, not too long, guys, now, right? It's very close. We're getting very close, guys. Don't lose hope. Not financial advice. But anyways, that's all for guys. Amazing day, guys. See ya.